It is day 14 of me decluttering my house every single day until I feel less overwhelmed. And today I am back in my daughter's bedroom. So I've been in here once before recently, decluttering her clothes, and I am back today to tackle the remaining drawers in this unit here and also her toys, her books, her cuddly animals, and I also have some blankets which I took out of my son's room yesterday when I was looking at the linen closet in their room. I saw some baby blankets and I thought there are loads of baby blankets in my daughter's room and I want to tackle them all at the same time. So I just chucked those under the bed yesterday. So I'm going to pull them out here and then we're going to get to work. So first up, I'm setting a timer for half an hour. I'm using my lunch break here today. I'm not doing anything else today. I'm not going into the kids' schools and nurseries to do any Christmas activities. And my diary at work is pretty quiet, thankfully. Finally, seems like everyone else is kind of busy having their office lunches, winding down for Christmas. So I'm going to make the most of my lunch break today. Firstly, I'm just going to pull everything out from the drawers except for the two middle drawers, which are the clothes that I went through recently. I'm absolutely sure I could get rid of more stuff from there, but I really want to do a once over everywhere and then go back around again. So I'm doing a bit of a kind of Marie Kondo, if you like. I want to see everything, see it all in different categories so that I can fully appreciate how much of some different things that I have and then decide how much I want to cull, how much I want to keep. So now I've got everything out of the drawers I'm going to be tackling. I'm separating them out into piles. So one pile of all of the sleeping bags and the bed sheets, one pile of all the muslins, one pile of all the nappies, one pile of swimwear, baby blankets, and so on. So that once I've got to that point, I can really see what I've got. This little onesie there that I just put in the pile was so cute, and my sons and my little girl wore it and it was so lovely, but it is definitely out of her size now. It was 12 to 18 months. She is just over 2, so she's not going to fit in that anymore, and she has another onesie. So I'm going to start here by tackling the muslins because I think that is a pretty easy place to start. And I find when I'm decluttering, if I start with something that's easy, it helps me build up momentum. So I start on a high and then I can tackle some maybe more trickier areas. So as I say, my daughter is just over 2 now. We don't use muslins as often anymore. Now we do use them, and if we're going out for a day trip somewhere, we always take a muslin because they're really good for wiping those snotty noses. But what we don't need loads of muslin cloths because we're not having people throw up on our shoulder after a billion different milk feeds in the day. So we don't need them. I feel a little bit sentimental about some of them, and if I was really brutal, I could maybe keep 5 and that would be sufficient. I kept a bit more than 5, but I culled an awful lot. So basically kept all the ones that are really pretty. I like the patterns, I like the colors, I like the designs. I got rid of all of the plain ones and the ones I didn't like so much, and I kept 2 giant muslins because they're really useful when the kids have tummy bugs. I like to have those nearby, to mop things up. Now onto sleeping bags here. I want to end up in a position where I have 2 of the winter tog ones, 2 of the spring kind of tog ones, and then a couple of the really thin summer ones. If my daughter is still in a cot, still in sleeping bags in May, when we go for a kind of sunny holiday, we've got our first holiday, which will require us being on an aeroplane with the kids, which is really exciting, going to Spain in May. So if she's still in a sleeping bag then, I think I will need those really, really light ones that I've just put back in the drawer. If she's out of the cot, or she's outgrown those sleeping bags, then I will gift them on before that holiday. This was quite a simple exercise because I realized that one of the winter tog sleeping bags was actually broken, so that will have to go in the bin, unfortunately, but it has been used by my boys. It's had a lot of good use out of it. And now onto blankets, which is a tough one. This is going to be a really hard one for me, and I still kept an awful lot, but a lot of these blankets have been made by members of our family. My sister, my sister-in-law, my mum and my mother-in-law. They have made all of these blankets. I mean, look how gorgeous that is. I absolutely adore this one. And when my daughter does go into a bed, I really want that one in particular to be on top of the bedspread. These little ones that were knitted by my mum, the blue ones I just threw out in the corner there, they were fantastic. We used those a lot. They were really good when the kids were in car seats. They were just the right size to sort of tuck in when you wanted to keep them a bit warmer in the car. Now, I struggled with this blanket in particular so much. I spent so long looking at this one. I remember buying that zebra blanket when I was at a baby fair, and I absolutely fell in love with it. And I knew at the time when I bought it, I didn't need it. I already had a lot of blankets that had been knitted by family members who are very excited to have a grandchild coming into the family. I did not need that one, but I loved it. So I bought it anyway. We used it a little bit. It was very thick, so it was kind of handy to have actually as kind of like a rug when you wanted the kids to be sat on something, maybe outside. So it has been used a bit, probably not so much. I shouldn't have bought it in the first place, but I still love it. And I really struggled with this. And actually, so I've decided to declutter it. And then after I finished filming, I went onto Vinted and just searched for that brand of like blanket and thought maybe I could sell it. If they're on for like a reasonable amount of money, maybe I could sell it. And I found one that was very similar, and it was on sale for £2, and it had been on there for ages. So that told me all I needed to know. They were not selling on Vinted. So I have put it in a bag to go to the local charity shop. And because it is in such good condition, that will make somebody very, very happy who is about to welcome a baby, who's in need of another blanket, but it needs to leave my house. And generally, what I'm finding with my decluttering journey is that the hardest things for me to let go are those sentimental items. And I'm feeling like I am more sentimental about things than perhaps I realized, in particular, like the kids' clothes and the kids' toys. I think there are some things that, they're just not playing with, they're not wearing, they're not using. I really should just make it, it should make it easy for me to get rid of them, for them to leave the house. But I can think back on the memories of like when I got them or who got those things for my kids. And I'm really struggling to part with those things. So here I'm starting to put things back in drawers now. Had to have a sort through the nappies because it's surprising how quickly they seem to grow out of nappies. And my daughter also wears like one size nappy in one brand, another size nappy in another brand. Really, they should all just be the same size, but I find they really are not. Do you find this if you have kids who are in nappies? But yeah, there were some that were definitely out of size there. But that's absolutely fine. They won't go in the bin. I know that I will easily manage to pass those on locally. I've always been able to easily pass on nappies. People always need nappies. So I will put them all to one side, and now I am able to actually fit into the drawer the brand new nappies that we have had like sitting under the cot, which is really nice to get rid of those. Now, this is the smallest bedroom in our house by far. This is part of the extension that we had done on our house about 4 years ago. So it is a very thin bedroom, and we have a sliding door on the room in order to create as much like floor space as possible. We can technically fit a single bed in the room one day if we need to, but it will be like quite a squeeze to do so. So my intention is to keep my daughter in a toddler bed for as long as I possibly can. And then we're hoping that within the next like 3 to 5 years, we might be able to move house and have like slightly bigger bedrooms and perhaps have our boys not sharing. But at the moment, when our kids are so young, they really just need space to sleep. They don't need a lot of space upstairs. They don't play in their rooms at all. They want to be playing downstairs where we are, and they're really only in their bedrooms to sleep. They have some toys, as you can see, a lot of cuddly toys. All their cuddly toys are in their bedrooms, really. They have a couple of toys in my son's room that they play with at bedtime, but largely all their toys are downstairs, and they are downstairs for the majority of the day. So we don't need tons of room, but we need to make sure we are using the room to the best possible way that we can. I think that the toys, like the cuddly toys in my daughter's room, this is not the best solution for them. So I had a look a little bit earlier to see if I could buy the same storage bin again. This is like a fabric storage bin. I really like it, or storage bag. But the seller on, I think it was Etsy that I got it from, they're no longer making that bag. And I couldn't find anything quite like it. So that's the trouble with homemade things. It's really nice. Like handmade products are lovely, and it's a gorgeous bag. I absolutely love it, and I don't want to get rid of it, but it's not big enough for all of the cuddly toys. I managed to get rid of a couple of cuddly toys, but my daughter loves them, and she's very young. It feels like a bit harsh to do such a strict like cull on cuddly toys. I feel like she's not really had the chance to play with yet, but I feel like I could put a bigger storage solution in place in that area. I'm just not sure what that looks like. So you guys are great at coming up with advice for me. So please let me know, what do you think I should do with that teddy area? Because I am not so sure. Now, this little basket that we have up on the top of the unit has some like medication and things that we need. Now, don't worry about medication in this room. Our daughter cannot climb out of the cot. She's never in that room unsupervised. So as soon as she is able to get out of a cot or she's in a bed or whatever, we will absolutely make sure that the cowpole is no longer in her bedroom. But she's been quite poorly recently, so we are using that on a near nightly basis. We have been in her room, she's been coughing, and she's been quite upset in the night. So generally speaking, it's not in there at the moment. It's in there because she's not well. I managed to clear some space in that drawer, as you saw, and get that wicker basket in there, which made such a difference. So I'm moving on to the last area of today's declutter, which is the books. There's actually quite a pile of books at the end of the drawer unit. Lots of books in this little bookcase here. I actually do have another one of these, which I bought absolutely ages ago. This is like a deep spice rack from IKEA, which I use for the books. And yeah, as I said, I have another one, and I was going to put that actually like kind of upside down at the just above this area to have some clothes hanging. But really, my daughter doesn't have any hanging clothes. I think any hanging clothes that she gets can easily fit in her brother's wardrobe. So I think actually it would be better served just to use it as an additional bookshelf, and I might mount that just on top of the two there so that we can have more books actually like more organized in her room. What do you think? Use it as an additional book rack or have it above that area to hang clothes? So as you heard there, the timer went, and I was really pleased with myself that I timed this to perfection to finish as that half an hour timer beeped. And here's everything that I got rid of. So much stuff. Couple of cuddly toys, and tons of blankets, nappies, muslins, and I made sure that I listed everything on our local like freebie giving away site immediately after I did this declutter. Put everything else in bags for the charity shop so it can leave the house tomorrow. Because I am decluttering every single day, does mean that I am amassing quite the number of bags of stuff that need to leave the house. So I have to make sure that I action those quickly. If I'm listing stuff to give away, it has to go on the site very quickly. If it's going to a charity shop, it needs to go very quickly. So here is what the room is looking like now. And I'm really pleased with how this turned out. Obviously, we do definitely need a better solution for the teddy bears, and please help me out there, guys. The Wendy house has always had a really great space there. Books are looking better, but there's a few too many still, which need to be tidied up. But otherwise, I think that for a small room, it is feeling so much brighter, that there's a bit of space to breathe and move around and play in here, which is really important. Our bedroom should be a sanctuary at the end of the day. So let me know what you think in terms of those toys. What should I do? And here is a little peek into the drawers. Everything has its space now, feels like it's really well organized. Far fewer muslins. It feels like an end of an era there, but it ended a while ago, if I'm honest. So just to show you, here are like the clothes, got the PJs up there we sorted out the other day. I won't show you the middle drawers because we did that the other day. Blankets, I've got a whole drawer of blankets, which is arguably still way more than I need, but I can't get rid of stuff that's been made by the aunties and the grandmas. Nappies and swimwear in here. And yeah, let me know what you think on the teddies. Help me out with that area. And thank you so much for joining me today. And I will see you tomorrow for the next declutter. Bye.